When we think about exercise, we often think about the effects on the body, but I want to talk today about the effects on the mind, and in 3 ways: stress and general outlook, sleep, and learning. So first of all, stress. You know when you feel just incredibly stressed out, and it's clear that stress is no longer just a matter of your mind and your thoughts, it's filling your body. Your muscles feel tight, your breathing feels constricted. Well, one of the best ways to blow out the cobwebs and just zero all of that out is by going for a nice long run, maybe a bike ride, whatever it is that you do. So many people have found that it just reduces their stress level, helps them to feel positive, helps them to see their challenges realistically, but kind of in a positive light. Able to say, yeah, those challenges are real, but it's not the end of the world. I actually often find when I come back from a long run or something like that, I already have a plan. And I'm able to say, okay, what I need to do is this, and then this, and then this. I'm kind of reframed, I'm refreshed, and I'm ready to execute on that plan. Now, 2 things I would suggest more specifically than just going for some exercise. 1, let it be outdoors. You know, a lot of exercise can be done very effectively indoors, or needs to be done indoors in certain cases, but for this kind of stress relief, there's something about that connection with the natural world that's really important and really valuable. And the second thing, kind of related to that, is unplug. So no music playing, no text coming in, no look at the internet, no checking your mail, no, as device-free as you can be. Put it in airplane mode with no music playing if it absolutely has to be with you for some reason. Leave it behind, leave all that stuff behind. That's part of getting the space you need and the refreshment you need. Okay, the second thing, sleep. Here again is a thing that a lot of people talk about, a lot of people can attest to, that regular exercise can really help you in terms of falling asleep more easily and getting more deep and restful sleep. Now, in the sleep video, we talked some about how some people, and this isn't something I necessarily want to encourage, but some people take a kind of pretty stingy attitude about the time given towards sleep. I really want to keep that contained because there are all these other things that I want to spend my time on. Well, if that's your attitude, how much more important that you actually be sleeping well during that time. Because boy, if you've given time to sleep, but then you're not actually sleeping well, you're lying awake or something like this, you're not getting work done, you're not getting rest, it's not a good picture. Now, that can sometimes be related to some pretty complicated things which take more than just exercise to solve. But for a lot of people, a really good way to improve their sleep is through getting regular exercise. Now, the third one, learning. This kind of blew my mind when I heard about it, because when I was a student, nobody had any idea about this except maybe a few medical researchers or something like this. So it turns out the way all this came out was about 11 years ago. A book called Spark got published. The author is a medical researcher. His name is John Ratey, R-A-T-E-Y, and I really recommend this book. What he and some other researchers have found is that exercise releases chemicals in the brain which stimulate cell growth and stimulate the development of new connections. So exercise directly helps learning and intellectual function. And it does this actually in 2 ways. So there's a general effect. If you're generally fit, generally getting good exercise, that's going to help with general cognitive processing, learning, all that kind of stuff. But, and this is what, again, to me is just kind of mind-blowing, it turns out there's a really specific time-bound effect. So if you get some pretty high-intensity cardio, and then right after that, put some intellectually challenging task or some hard learning thing that you're working on, your performance is going to be facilitated by that. They've done studies with exactly this scenario. For example, high school students who have challenges with reading, and they put that reading class right after some high-intensity exercise, they get measurably improved outcomes. Now, I should stress, when Ratey is talking about exercise, he's really talking about cardiovascular exercise. It's something that's going to get your heart rate up into a target zone for a certain period of time. So resistance training, weightlifting, that stuff can have value in other sorts of ways. But for the learning effects, we're really talking about cardiovascular exercise. And Ratey actually goes on in this book to explain it's not just about learning. There are other things about mind and psychology that are really helped by this. So for example, depression is helped. ADHD is helped by exercise in pretty remarkable ways. I really recommend this book to go check out what he has to say. Now, there's a final thing about this whole topic of exercise and these kinds of effects, and that is that it actually kind of does an end run over some of the things that can hinder us from exercising sometimes. So a lot of people experience some anxiety or negative feelings, even barriers to exercise, coming from comparing themselves with other people or with where they'd like to be. So they may say, oh, I look so uncoordinated when I run, or I'm really slow, or I don't have much stamina, or I can't lift much, whatever it may be. None of those things matter, because as far as this stuff is concerned, wherever you are, if you are pushing yourself and you are giving yourself some good exercise, whatever that looks like for you, you're getting your heart rate to that zone, even if it goes there a lot easier than what a real athlete would need to do to get that heart rate up there. Well, hey, you've just gotten that much easier to your goal because that's what you're trying to do. All of those benefits, they don't come from running fast enough, they don't come from having enough endurance, they come from getting out there, getting the exercise, pushing your body, and you're going to experience those benefits. So go out there, get some exercise. I'll see you on the running trails.